Good morning, sir.
Okay, so good morning to everyone. So today we will see the topic that is the congestion control. So first we will see the topic that is the congestion control. Now first, before discussing the topic that congestion control is, then first we will know that what is congestion. Now congestion occurs due to several issues and in a network. Several issues in a network, it can occur. So that means basically what is congestion? तो बेसिकली congestion क्या है? सिंपल वर्ड्स में अगर हम एग्जांपल ले, लाइफ एग्जांपल एक ले कि मेरा एक रोड है, मेरा एक रास्ता है, उस रास्ते में 10 गाड़ी जा सकता है. अब उस रास्ते में 10 गाड़ी जा सकते हैं, उस 10 गाड़ी के जगह अगर उस रोड से हम 20 गाड़ी को बोले कि 20 गाड़ी जाने के लिए, तब क्या होगा? जैम लग जाएगा. तो जैम लग जाएगा, वही होता है कंजेशन सिंपल वर्ड्स में. तो जिस रास्ते 10 गाड़ी के लिए बना हुआ है, उस रास्ते में अगर 20 गाड़ी हम लोग लाए तो क्या होगा? ट्रैफिक जैम लगेगा. तो अब इसलिए क्या होगा? मेरा कंजेशन तैयार होगा. यही है सिंपल वर्ड्स. सेम एज दैट इफ द in several issues, if it is in the network purpose. So basically network, what happens? All the stations, there are many stations present. Now all the stations want to send some packet. All the stations that is present in the network, or the nodes that is present in the network, try to send the packet in same time. Try to send the packet in same time, then the congestion happens. So this is basically that congestion occurs due to the several issues. That is basically congestion is when several stations that are present in the network, or the nodes that is present in the network, try to send the data at same time. So the chances of congestion is maximum. Now that we have to avoid this traffic congestion. Now traffic congestion in network means what? The packets which are moving from one station to the another. The packets that is moving from one station to the another. The traffic congestion is basically meaning of that. The traffic means what? It is not that in the road traffic. Traffic in our network is that several stations send packets at the same time. So that means congestion can happen. And now traffic means, so that means traffic congestion happens. So traffic in the network means what? That packets. Here the traffic means what? Here the traffic means the packets which are moving from one station to the another. So for moving of this packet, the congestion may occur because several stations sends the packet at the same time. So there may be a capacity of the network. So there may be a capacity of the network, but when this it overcome this capacity, that means it is loaded after beyond the capacity. If the packets are moving, then the congestion may occur. So this is what the congestion. Now, congestion control is what? We have to improve this quality. We have to improve this quality. So this is the congestion control. Now, to showing that there is a traffic descriptor present. You see, there is a traffic descriptor we have used. Now, using this traffic descriptor, or here in this traffic descriptor graph, some parameters are present in this traffic descriptor graph. There is some parameters present, and based on this parameter, we can able to describe the packet. We can able to describe the traffic. So this may happen that mainly based on this parameter, we can able to describe the traffic. And the parameters are traffic descriptor. And the parameters are what? The parameters are the traffic descriptor. So for description of this traffic, this graph is used and there is a parameter present. And through this parameter, we can able to describe the traffic. Now, in this graph, you see, we have plotted this graph here in one side. In this, it is second, that means time. And here in the y coordinate, it is data rate. So in y coordinate, it is data rate, and in the x coordinate, it is second. So we will plot the graph in data rate versus second. In this, we will plot the graph. Now, here you see the graph looks like this. Here, this graph looks like this. So this is the graph looks like. Now in this portion, you see we have used an arrow here. This portions we have used an arrow here. Now this is what this portion. This portion is the peak data rate. Now what is the peak data rate? It is the data rate of the traffic that in this time, the data rate is in the high. Data rate is maximum. Data rate becomes maximum in this portion. So that's why this portion is known as the peak data rate, because the data rate is high in this portion. So it is what? It is a peak data rate. And in this case, you see, it is what? It is the average data rate. So this is what the average data rate. Now, average data rate is what? The total amount of data divided by the total time. That will gives us the average data rate. Total amount of data divided by the total time. This, the answer we will get the average data rate. So average data rate means it is the total amount of data divided by the total time. So this is the average data rate. So that means here it is the peak data rate, and here it is, if we plot this graph. So this is what, this is the average data rate. If we plot this graph, this is the average data rate. And if here it is the peak data rate. So peak data rate means it is the maximum traffic, data rate of traffic, and average data rate is the, it is the total amount of time divided by the total time. This is the average data rate. And another descriptor is present in this graph, that is the maximum burst size. So what is the maximum burst size? Maximum burst size, it is the maximum length of time the traffic is generated at the peak rate. That means it is the length of the time. It is the length of the time that when, what the maximum length of the time that when the traffic is generated at the peak rate. That means it is the maximum length of time when the traffic is generated at the peak rate. That means this, if we portion we see, now this is the peak data rate portion. So if we consider, that means from starting from this position to this position, now this is what, this is the time portion. So that means between this time the data rate is in the peak level. Between this time, if we consider that from this starting point to this ending point, that means this length of time the data rate is maximum. So this maximum length of time the traffic is generated maximum is known as the peak data rate. So these are the parameters. These are the parameters that is for used for the based on these parameters we describe the traffic. That means we describe the traffic based on these parameters, that peak data rate, average data rate, and maximum burst size. Peak data rate, maximum data rate. Peak data rate means the maximum data rate. Average data means the total time divided by the total amount of data divided by the total amount of time. And maximum burst size is the maximum length of the maximum length of the time in which the data rate goes peak. So these are the three descriptors present to describe the traffic. Now for effective bandwidth is what? It is the bandwidth that the network needs to allocate for the flow of traffic. Now this bandwidth is needed for allocate the flow of the traffic. So for the flow of traffic, the effective bandwidth is needed. So it is that particular bandwidth network needs to allocate for the flow of traffic. This is known as the effective bandwidth. Now, so basically from here, what we know, first we think that congestion. So congestion is basically what? Now it is congestion. Now we already know that congestion is that when several stations sends packet at the same time, then the congestion happens. But when this congestion will happen, several stations sends packet at the same time, then the chances of the congestion is maximum. We know that. But when it will occur? Now it will occur if the load of the network, that means in a network, there is the two things present for a network. One is load and another is capacity. These two things are present, load of a network, capacity of a network. So it may occur if the load on the network, load means what? Load in the network means number of packets sent to the network. Load here in networking perspective, load in a network means that number of packets sent to the network is in respective of the networking. The load of the network is the number of packets sent to the network, and which is greater than the capacity of the network. So capacity of the network means it is the number of packets a network can handle. So that means what? I am previously said that if the road is made for the purpose of 10 cars, then as a simple example, I said that if the road is made of a 10 car, and we are want to sending 20 cars on that road. So that means congestion will occur. It is basic normal thing that traffic jam will occur and the congestion will occur. So same as that, for this perspective also, for networking perspective also, there is the load of the network. Load of the network means the number of packets we are sending, the number of packets that is sent in the network, and capacity of the network is present. Capacity means a number of packets a network can handle. So if the load is greater than the capacity, if the load is greater than the capacity, then that means the congestion will occur. So this is where the congestion occurs. So basically the load on the network is greater than the capacity of the network, then the congestion will occur. And it occurs due to the queues in the router and switches. So it is occurred for the queue in the router and switches. Okay, so this is all about the description. So this is the basic informations and the descriptions of the congestions and traffic, what type of traffic and parameters of the traffic descriptors. So now we will see that how. So example we'll take. So through example also, we will see that how it happens for the networking. Now there is a sender and the receiver. There is a sender and there is another receiver. Now sender 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So sender at a time can send 8 frames. So 8 frames can be sent by the sender at a time. But receiver is what? But receiver can only process 4 frames at a time. But sender can send 8 frames at a time. But receiver can able to process only 4 frames at a time. So that means what? Sender will send 1 by 1 frame to the receiver. So sender will send 1 by 1 frame to the receiver. So let's say the first frame is sent. Okay, no problem, it is processed. Then second frame it is sent, it is processed. Then third frame it is sent, it is processed. Then fourth frame it is sent, the fourth frame it is processed. But after that, receiver will what? Receiver will doesn't able to process that time, because receiver at a time only able to process 4 frames, but sender at a time can send 8 frames. So then what happens? Sender will not stop. Sender will not stop sending the frame. Sender will send the frame 1 by 1. So sender will again send this frame, then 6th frame. So it will not stop here. It will 1 by 1 send the frame. Now, when the sender will send 1 by 1 frame and the receiver is not able to process that, then the load of the over the network increases, because capacity of the network is what? The capacity of the networking is that the 4 frames can be processed by the receiver at a time, but sender is sending frames after that also. It is sending 5th frame, 6th frame, 7th frame, 8th frame, because 8 frame sender can send at a time. So that means sender will not stop sending frames at that particular moment. Now, when this occurs, these situations will occur. So the load over the network is increases. The load of over the network will increase because the packets receiver cannot able to process now. But sender is sending the packets, but receiver is not able to process that packets now. So because the queue of the receiver, this is the queue of the receiver, this is the queue of the sender. So the queue of the receiver is what? The queue of the receiver is full. So this leads to the congestion. This can leads to the congestion. So this is actually this happens. That sender is what? Sender may think that sender at a time like this, some mentioned frames can send by him, but receiver doesn't able to process that at that particular moment. At that particular moment, receiver doesn't able to process that. So that means load is increased over the network. because receiver is not processing. That means the load over the network increases, and capacity of the network, because load is going beyond the capacity of the network. So that means the load increases and it leads to the congestion. So this is the actually happening in the congestion control, that the congestion is occurring like that's way. Okay, समझ में आया सबको अभी तक?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what the congestion. Now for the network performance. So for network performance, before starting the network performance, we first see the various types of the traffic profiles, the various type of traffics that is present. Now there are three types of traffics present. What are the three types of traffic present? If we plot in this graph, now this traffic looks like how we will also see. So same as that, we will plot a graph. You see this I have plot a graph. That's how this we plotted a graph. Now in this graph, in the y coordinate, data rate is present. In the x coordinate, time is present. So that means what? That means data rate versus time. Data rate versus time. We are plotting the graph. Now the first is constant bit rate, CBR. In the short form, we say CBR. Now constant bit rate is what? When data rate not change in respect to time, that the data rate is constant. The data rate is constant. If the data rate is constant and it doesn't change with respect to time, then we called it as constant bit rate. Then we called it as the constant bit rate. And if the data flow changes with the time, so that's, you see there is another present that its graphs look like this. If it is what? The data rate changes with time. In constant bit rate, it is constant. There is no change in the data rate. Same like that, constant. But in variable data rate, the data flow changes with time. So you see in this graph, it is what? The data rate is sometimes less, sometimes maximum, like this. That data rate goes sometimes high, then again low, then again high, then again low, then again high. So that means what? Data rate changes with respect to time. Data flow changes with the time. So that's why its name is variable bit rate or VBR. But constant means it will be constant. There is no peak of data rate. Yeah, there is no less data rate. This is a constant. A constant flow will be goes on. That's why its name is constant bit rate, and that's name is the variable bit rate. That is the data flow changes with the time. And another thing is that the bursty data. Now, what is the bursty data means? Now, bursty data occurs, you see, the data rate is maximum. Like this, the data rate is maximum. So after going maximum, it suddenly drops. And then again, no data rate, okay. Then again, it started. So that means what? Suddenly dropping of the data rate. Sudden changes. Sometimes it is peak, but after that, there is no data, nothing. So that means it's suddenly, drastically changing. So when this drastically changes occur, we said that it is the bursty data. Data rate changes suddenly. So these are the various types of traffic profiles. So these three types of traffic profiles are present: constant bit rate, then variable bit rate, and the bursty data. So these are the three parameters in the various types of traffic profiles. So now we will move the network performance. So describing the network performance, we have to plot two graphs. We have to plot two graphs. One is about delay versus load. First graph we will plot is the delay versus load, and another one is the throughput versus load. So these two types of, we know that these two types. So we will discuss one by one. The thing we will discuss one by one. So two graphs we will plot. One is delay versus load, and another is the throughput versus load. So first graph, that is capacity versus load. So in the capacity versus load graph, you see in this graph, in the y coordinate, the delay is present, and in the x coordinate, the load is present. So we will plot the graph. Now delay is what? Delay is the functions of the load. Delay is basically the function of the load. And here you see an arbitrary line I have drawn. This is the arbitrary line. This is the arbitrary line I have drawn, and this arbitrary line is what? The capacity. This arbitrary line is the capacity. Now what capacity is? It shows the capacity of the network. So load start from here. You see the load start from here. So when the load is minimum, the delay is also minimum. But you see that delay is minimum in that. So in that case also, in up to these portions, the delay is minimum. But when the delay reaches the network capacity, means in this position, it reaches the capacity. It reaches the capacity because up till now, delay is minimum, load is minimum, delay is also minimum. But after that, when the load reaches the network capacity, means load reaches these portions. After this, the network capacity, then the delay increases sharply. So after reaching the network capacity, when the load will reach the network capacity, and after reaching it, the delay will increase sharply. So that's why this graph, you see, sharply it is going high. So till maximum, till network capacity, it is same, that delay is minimum, load is also minimum. But when load reaches the maximum network capacity, in that time, the graph will move high sharply. It will move, the delay will move sharply. You see, that's why the delay moved sharply here. So now this point is known as the infinite delay, because the load increased, the load after increasing, now at that particular point, it reaches the maximum capacity, and it over beyond the maximum capacity. When the load goes through beyond the maximum capacity, in that time, delay graph will sharply high. It will move at a sharply. So, and that portion will be known as the infinite delay. Now, here, so if the increase, if the load, now if the load will go maximum capacity, in after going beyond the maximum capacity, if the maximum capacity is gone, then the congestion may happen. Congestion of happening is increased. So that's why you see in these portions, these are the portions where it is the congestion free area. But after that, whenever it reaches the maximum, here between this point, it overcomes, or the going beyond the maximum capacity. So that's why from these portions, it is the between the congestion area. So it is between the congestion area. So this is the first plotting, that how graph is plotted in the delay versus load. How the graph is plotted in the delay versus load. Okay, clear till now? अब तक क्लियर है सबका?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we will see the next graph, that is the throughput versus load. Now, throughput is what? Throughput, what is the throughput? Throughput is means in respective of networking, the throughput means the number of packets passing through the network per unit time. Means per unit time, the number of packets passed, we called it as the throughput. So that means here also the same things will be applicable. Here also the same thing is applicable, that if the number of packets passing through the network per unit time is the throughput, then it here also the same thing happens, that if the load is increases, then the passing number of packets also increases. Because if we increase the load, mainly thing that is load here in this load, if we increase the load and if the load goes beyond the capacity of the network, that means what? Here the traffic means, in the networking, the traffic means the packets which are moving from one station to the another. So load means what? Load means this moving of packets. So if this moving of packets is increased, that means the load is increased. Moving of packets is increased, that means the load is increased. So if we increase the load beyond the capacity, then the throughput will sharply decreases. And it reaches to 0. Because then that time what? The congestion will be occurred. So whenever the congestion will occur, that if a station, let's say station A sends to station B, same time station A C wants to send the packet to station B, same time station D also wants to send the packet to station B. So there may be what? The congestion will happen, and none's packet will reaches to the B, because in the middle way the collision will happen. So A's packet didn't receive by the B, C's packet also didn't receive by the B, and D's packet is also doesn't receive by the B, because that packets collided with each other. So at particular moment, these packets will be collided because they all are going to the same destination. So it will collided again. So that means what? That is, there is no, all collisions happen and congestion occurs. So that means what? That means it is not correctly received by the receiver. So receiver doesn't receive anything. That means what? The throughput will be bad. So that's why it is said that if the load is increased beyond the capacity, because there is a capacity of the network, that number of packets can be handled by the network. But if the number of packet increases and go beyond that number of packets that can handle by the network, so the congestion will be occurred, and so congestion will occur means the throughput will decreases, and at a particular moment it goes down to 0. So this is what it is plotted, that throughput versus load, that when you see that this graph reaches that in this time, it is okay, because it is in the load of the network is less than the capacity of the network. But when it reaches this position, in that time, that means what? The load is goes in the maximum capacity range of the network. And after that, when it started going beyond the capacity, in that time, you see the throughput decreases sharply. So that is why this is the congestion free area, and this portion is the congestion area. Okay, so that's how we can plot the graph here. These two graphs. One is delay versus load, and another one is the throughput versus load. So through this two graph, we can see that how if the load increased and goes beyond the maximum capacity of the network, then throughput also decreases, and same as that, the delay is increased. Sharply, and the throughput decreased. So this is using this two graph we have. For the various congestion control, there are some categories present. For congestion control, we have two categories. Congestion control is divided into two categories. One is the open loop and another one is the closed loop. Now, why the open loop is used? Now, open loop is basically used for the prevention. Open loop is basically used for the prevention. And closed loop, this is used for the removal of congestion. That means open loop will use for prevention of the congestion. That congestion doesn't happen. We will use that that congestion doesn't occur. So for this, we will use the open loop, and we will use the closed loop for what? To removal of the congestion. That congestion occurs and we have to remove the congestion. For that, we will use the closed loop. And for prevention of it, we will use the open loop. Now, there are some strategies in the open loop also. There is some strategies present. For closed loop also, there are some strategies present. Now, open loop strategies are used for the prevention, and closed loop strategies are used for the removal of congestion. Okay, so today we'll see two policies to prevent the congestion. There is many strategies present, but today we'll discuss about only the two policies. Now you are familiar with these two policies previously. In previous also, many times I have discussed about these policies. Same policy is also happening here. First policy is the retransmission policy, and another one is the window policy. These two policies. Now, retransmission policy is what? Now, if you see that sender sends some packet. Okay, so sender basically sends a packet. There is a sender and a receiver. So let's, if through an example I discussed that this is a sender and let's say this is a receiver. Now sender sends some packet. So let's say sender sends pack 1 or frame 1. Let's say frame 1. So sender sends frame 1. Now, to know that the packet is correctly received by the receiver, the packet is correctly received by the receiver, then receiver has to send what? Receiver has to send some acknowledgement to the sender. So if receiver doesn't send the acknowledgement to the sender, then sender will not able to know that the packet is correctly received or not. They will not able to know that the packet is correctly received or not. So sender will wait for some amount of time. Sender will do what? It will wait for some amount of time that it receives the acknowledgement. So after going beyond that time, the acknowledgement doesn't receive by the sender from the receiver. So sender may think what? Sender thinks that the packet is doesn't receive by the receiver correctly, or means the packet is lost when it transmitted in the middle of the channel, the packet or the frame has gone lost, or it is received by the receiver corrupted, so that's why it doesn't send the acknowledgement here. So sender will, after waiting for that time, it will again retransmit the frame. So same frame again retransmit. But in this time also, you say, let's say in this time also, acknowledgement is not received by the sender. So it will again send the same frame again. So that means retransmission. So retransmission is, let's say that in some reason, receiver doesn't send the frame. Receiver doesn't send the acknowledgement. So there may be happening that the same frames are going from sender to receiver, because sender will work in which policy, that if it receives the acknowledgement, then it thinks that it is correctly received, but it is not receive any acknowledgement from the receiver. So sender will again and again sends the frame. Now this will lead to our congestion, because this is same frames we are retransmitting. So that is the reason that the retransmission, it will leads to the congestion. Now there should be some good retransmission policy. So that's why a good retransmission policy is needed. Now, this good retransmission policy is needed, which prevent the congestion, which will do what? Which will prevent the congestion. That's why a good retransmission policy is needed.